Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country from the blue-collar professor. He teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business, and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you, so make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Wow. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
When the RNC started, we said there were two very clear goals. One, this party must unite, and two, Donald Trump had to look like a president. He had an opportunity before him last night to come out and reintroduce himself to everybody who might have been oblivious to the primary season, to everybody who didn't participate, to those getting to know Donald Trump personally for the first time, that heard him speak for the first time. Mission accomplished on both goals. Even though there were bumps along the way, there were some landmines planted, some unexpected happenings, Donald Trump and his staff pulled it off and pulled it off in great fashion. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition as we close out the week and we close out the RNC, and we begin to turn our attention next week to the Democratic Party's get-together. You know how I feel about them. It's going to be a week of lies and butchered facts and victims being ran out there that aren't really victims and more lies. And so I'm not excited about next week. Yes, we'll cover it, but I am excited about what happened this week. I just simply could not believe that Donald Trump and his staff pulled it off as well as they did, especially given what went on through the week. We had the whole roll call vote trying to unbind delegates and trying to lock up primaries to where they were closed primaries in 2020. Both of them were shot down, but it seemed like the convention itself and the delegates weren't unified, and that was the big goal. And so after the first half of the first inning, I was worried. I was worried about how this thing was going to turn out. And then the speakers put it back together flawlessly. Things were great day 2, day 3. Ted Cruz came out and did his thing. And I'm still a lot torn, but at the end of the day, it seems pretty simple to me. If you give your word, you honor your word. It really is that simple. And he didn't do that. And yes, he can justify it, and he can even justify it to a reasonable standard to where a lot of rational people would be like, well, he's got a point. He may have a point. But at the end of the day, if you are an honorable man, you do what you say you're going to do. And it doesn't matter what other people do. It doesn't matter how other people react. You stand by your word. And so there was that. And there's a lot of people talking that Ted Cruz is done politically. I wouldn't go that far. He still has a lot of support from a lot of conservatives. There are still a lot of people that think the jury's out on Donald Trump. And let me just run a hypothetical out there. I don't know how likely or how probable it is, but just a hypothetical. Let's say Donald Trump gets in there and crashes and burns from a conservative perspective. That he just goes crazy and starts implementing laws that none of us on the right agree with. Does Ted Cruz come back to life for you? I think he does. I definitely think he does in 2020. And so I'm not saying he's dead. I'm just saying he definitely didn't help himself this week. And I am disappointed in him in that it's this simple. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he was out of line. I'm saying the man gave his word and he didn't follow through. And to me, it's one of those, either your word's good or it's not. It's not you honor your word part of the time when the conditions are right. That's just not how I operate. Now, there are a lot of people that are going to apologize for Ted Cruz, that are going to make excuses and give reasonings. All that's fine. I still like Ted Cruz. I still think he's a great guy. I'd still vote for Ted Cruz. But I'm not happy about what happened. But despite all of that, despite everything that happened this week, Donald Trump, and I think the highlight coming out of this was Donald Trump's family. There's a lot of comments saying, you know what? A man can pretend to be something he's not for a little while, but what he can't do is hide his character from showing through his kids. And that's very true. You know, you might have the wherewithal and the intelligence and the deception to fool some people as you maneuver around. I'm not saying Donald Trump's that guy. I'm just saying you may have that ability. But when you get more and more people, especially people you are credited with instilling values in, you are credited with raising, you are credited with skewing their perspective and adjusting the way they look at the world. When you bring more and more of those people into the picture, you can see the values and the morals that Donald Trump passed down, and his family knocked it out of the park. I mean, they're sharp, very smart kids. They seem very polite. They seem very point on. They seem very focused. They seem willing to work. And the crazy thing is, as classy and elegant as they appear to be, if you listen to them talk, they don't sound entitled. And that is fascinating to me. In a world of entitlement, the fact that these billionaire kids who grew up not wanting a thing don't have this approach to life and this attitude of being entitled. And that goes right back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump and his wives, that is plural, that raised his kids. And so I think, this is a long shot, but I think we got a good guy. We may not agree with the way he says things. We may not agree with his approach. But he seems like he's on the up and up. Maybe this is wishful thinking. Maybe I'm being naive. I don't know. But last night, Ivanka Trump introduced Donald Trump. And everything that led up to that was moot. There was one point we're going to talk about in the next segment, but everything up until that, it didn't matter. They were undercard fights that nobody cared about. And I'm sorry if you spoke last night, but nobody cared. What people cared about was hearing the nominee speak. And this, like I said, this was the most critical point in his campaign thus far. And the only thing moving from this point forward, unless something crazy happens, that even has a chance to rival this moment, will be the debates. And that's if Hillary Clinton even agrees to debate. But he was walking out on stage, and he not only had to appear presidential, he had to. He had to prove he was capable of doing it. Because up until now, we've heard a lot of talk from Donald Trump. I'll be presidential when I need to, or I'm going to start being more presidential. I mean, he just called it out. Despite all the business that went on in Twitter, despite the loose mouth he has of reckless words and things like that. And when I say that, reckless words, I don't mean that the guy's crazy. I'm just saying he may not choose the best word at the best time. But he kept saying it was possible and he was going to pivot and become more presidential. He was out of time last night. He had to do it. And moreover, there were a lot of people watching TV last night that hadn't heard Donald Trump speak. They had only heard what the leftist press had regurgitated and interpreted and reported on and commentated on. They had never heard him directly. This was his chance to introduce himself to the rest of the world outside the party. And so Ivanka Trump gets up there, and I will tell you this, that it's no accident how they approach things. Donald Trump's a smart guy. The people around him were smart guys, and everything was calculated. Everything. They knew what Ted Cruz was going to say ahead of time, and they knew the reaction. They knew that pulling him 2 hours before the convention after people had seen him there would be, it'd be horrible. You can't do that. You couldn't pull him, so they let him hang himself. And apparently, according to everybody but the diehard Cruz fans, he kind of did. At least for the here and now. Now, maybe he'll come back. I don't know. But running Ivanka Trump out there before Donald Trump was no accident. And it wasn't because she's a great orator, even though she spoke. Oh, she was impressive. It wasn't because she's easy on the eyes, even though she is. It was because Donald Trump knows he can't speak from a woman's perspective. He knows that he can say, I did all these great things for women, but nobody's going to believe it unless it comes from a woman. And he also knows that that is all Hillary Clinton has left. She has no credibility. She has no equity built up with people. People know she is incompetent, and people know she is dishonest, and that's being kind. The only thing she has running for her is the fact that she's a woman, and that she can be the first woman president, and she can empathize with other females that are out there because she is one. She's been through some of those situations. That's all she's got. There are desperate times over there on the left. Desperate times. You know they're not happy with their candidate. So what does Donald Trump do? Donald Trump runs his daughter out there to counterpunch this whole woman claim. And she gets up there and she talks about how her dad instilled hard work in her, told her, if you're going to be thinking, might as well think big. Just instilled this sense of work ethic and belief in yourself and perseverance. And it was awesome. But it was kind of the same message the other children echoed. But then she came out and said, look, I don't necessarily fall in line as a Democrat or a Republican. What I care about is this country. My dad's the guy to do it. There's the play for the middle, and there's the play for the left. And then she started speaking about women, how Donald Trump in the 80s promoted women to executive positions before it was even cool to do it. That he wanted the best person for the best job, period. The only thing that mattered to him were competence and hard work. That's it. He didn't care if you were a man, woman, black, white, green, yellow. He didn't care. He wanted the best person for the job, and sometimes that happened to be a woman, and he didn't care. She said that women were paid equally at the Trump Corporation. That position pays what that position pays. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, and if a woman has a baby, it's celebrated. It's everything the females of this country wanted to hear. It's everything that the leftist feminists didn't. Because now what do they have? Here's Ivanka Trump standing up there that's as credible as she can be, saying, look, here's my experience. As an executive in the Trump Corporation, as somebody who was raised by this man, as somebody who has known him literally my entire life, this is what I think. This is my perspective. And of course they'll say, oh, well, she's biased. Well, maybe. But it can't be refuted because it's the truth. And that was just stellar. And so the counterpunch to the women card, the woman card, whatever you want to call it, was Ivanka Trump. And she owned it. She looked incredible up there. And that is fascinating to me because I don't know if I would have done that. I don't know if I would have trusted anybody in my life to run out there for me and take on the Democratic nominee, especially when it's Hillary Clinton. But Donald Trump did. It was a big gamble. And boy, it paid off. It paid off greatly. And so there was that. And even Buck Sexton, who is not a Donald Trump fan at all, tweeted out, man, I'd like to see Ivanka debate Hillary. Oh, yeah, me too. That'd be a great debate. I think she would win. I think at, what is she, 33, 34? I think she could punch Hillary Clinton right in the nose. Now, before I wrap up this whole kids idea, Donald Trump's kids being so outstanding this week, how does Hillary Clinton counteract this? What does she do to swing back against this incredible showing? Does she run Chelsea out there? No, Chelsea's an idiot. I've had an opportunity to speak with Chelsea when she was on her tour back in 2008. She is dumb as a box of rocks. She's not attractive like the Trump kids. And all she does is echo what her parents say. She hasn't achieved anything. She's ridden their coattails. You can't run Hillary Clinton out there. Or Chelsea Clinton. So what do? Here's the answer. And here's what Hillary Clinton's going to do. She's going to run the mothers of the, quote, victims of police shootings out on the stage. That's how she's going to counter this. And a quest for the black vote. That's how this is going down. It's absolutely disgusting. So all of that's an aside. Here comes Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has the opportunity. Does he seize it? And the answer is unequivocally yes. There is nobody out there short of the leftist media who thinks that this wasn't probably the greatest acceptance speech of all time. It was definitely the longest. But it was fantastic. And he hit on every point we wanted to hear short of abortion. But maybe that was planned. Maybe he still doesn't know where he stands. But I mean, he talked about the VA. He talked about education. He talked about the economy. He talked about trade agreements. He talked about securing the borders. And the list goes on and on. Tax reform, repealing and replacing Obamacare, the Supreme Court situation with Justice Scalia and others. He took shots at Hillary, but he never really got aggressive with it. In fact, I was very impressed with the fact that he called her my opponent. My opponent. And it was one of these speeches where it got started and about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes in, I think I even sent out a tweet, or may have had Ron send it out, that said, if Donald Trump keeps this up, mission accomplished. If he stays on that teleprompter, mission accomplished. Because where he gets in trouble is when he just starts going willy-nilly. He starts this little improv game, speaking off the cuff. That's where he gets in trouble. If he stays on the teleprompter, he's going to get the job done. And he did. He stayed on the teleprompter. And then about halfway through, I was like, man, this is something special. He's right on track. And then about 3/4 of the way through, I'm getting fired up. I'm like, heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I want to hear. This is what it's all about. And then at the end, I walked away and you know that I'm not a big Donald Trump fan. I'm just so anti-Hillary, it's disgusting. So Trump is the only logical answer. I walked away kind of excited about Donald Trump. He let all these people out there know who have been just shunned by the elected officials. I am your voice. I get it. He said that Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. The American people will come first again. There were constantly chats of USA, USA, and lock her up. He did an outstanding job, and that can't be said enough. It was fantastic. It seriously might be the best acceptance speech ever. I mean, it's up there. It might be better than Reagan's. It was that good. And the critics are saying, oh, well, he screamed the whole time. Maybe he was fired up. Maybe he was ready to rock and roll. Maybe he is ready to do this. I have no problem with that. It wasn't like it was hard to listen to. But the left is going to do everything they can to attack this speech and to attack him. It's going to get messy. You think the primaries were messy. It's going to get messy. In fact, the fact-checking's already started. Let me tell you what the left found next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. It's summertime again, ladies. Time to break out those sandals and give your toenails a little TLC. The nail technicians at Friendly Nails in Cleburne, Texas are ready to provide you with professional and friendly service. From manicures to pedicures and a variety of specialized services such as acrylic nails, facials, and waxing. Custom designs and a variety of stones to accent your nails are also available. The technicians at Friendly Nails are all licensed and trained in the latest technology and have experience applying every kind of polish on the market. So stop by and be treated like royalty. Relax in their massage chair and unwind. Full body massage therapy is also available by appointment only. For all you guys wanting to give your special lady a little treat, $50 gift certificates are available now for $40, and anyone who mentions hearing about Friendly Nails on the Gavin Mitchell Show or KLIF will get $10 off any $50 purchase. Friendly Nails is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 180 North Ridgeway Drive in Cleburne, Texas. Call them at 817-641-3400. Walk-ins are welcome.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-525-8479 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-525-8479 to take your call now. Call 1-800-525-8479. That's 1-800-525-8479. Again, 1-800-525-8479.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Visit us for sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services. Airbrush services by our friends at Kingdom Custom Creations are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
If you are looking to connect with the show, you can find us on the web, thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are welcome to email me anytime you would like, Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. And you can find us on Twitter at the GM Show. So I know we put a lot of time into this convention, but it's a once in every 4-year deal, right? This is a big deal, and this election is even bigger. I mean, this country is at a crossroads, and we've got to make some important decisions. And so you begin to understand better who these people are by who they choose to speak at these conventions, by what they say at these conventions. And so it's incredibly important. And I've made it very clear. There were 2 goals here. We have to unite the party, and Donald Trump has to look like a president. He has to sound like a president. That is what's important coming out of this convention. Mission accomplished. Well, the left's not happy with that because those were the 2 goals. The 2 goals were achieved. Yeah, there are some stragglers. There are some hanging out there. Oh, I'm going to plant my flag for my morals. And at some point, you got to quit holding your nose. Garbage. I will tell you point blank, if you are one of those people, and this is coming from a Ted Cruz fan, if you are one of those people, you are doing everything you can to where you can still kind of look yourself in the mirror to put Hillary Clinton in office. Period. This passive-aggressive garbage has got to stop. We have to unite because we cannot let her take the White House. If you care about this country at all, you cannot let her take the White House. But the left is going to do everything they can to tear apart Donald Trump's speech. Well, everybody loved it. There's not a lot they can say. So what's the first step in tearing apart someone's speech? You fact check it, right? Well, this lady, Seema Mehta, a Los Angeles Times correspondent, was fact-checking Donald Trump's speech. And she had to report that his crime statistics are, quote, mostly accurate. That Donald Trump's crime statistics are mostly accurate, but his conclusions are a stretch. They can't get him. They cannot get him. They're trying so hard to nail this guy to the wall, and they can't. The only thing they have is the way he says things. It's not what he says. What he says is right. It's the way he says it. And pay attention to all the protests out there. Oh, you bigot. Oh, you racist. That's because of the way he says things. He checks the political correctness at the door. When it comes to a speech, They have to say that the statistics are mostly accurate. So what do they go after? The way he says it. His conclusions are a stretch. That's garbage. That's all they have. Well, what is it that was a stretch? They said that he was inaccurate when he said the number of police officer deaths have risen nearly 50% compared to the same period last year. While the number of police officers killed by guns had gone up that amount, the overall number of police officers killed in the line of duty is flat, Mehta claims. What Donald Trump said was the number of police officers' deaths had risen by 50%, killed in the line of duty. And so what he's saying is cops are getting killed out there. Yeah, I see how she can interpret it this way, but let me tell you something. If a presidential nominee gets up and he speaks for over an hour and throws a number of facts at you, and that's all you got, the way you interpret that when you know police are being massacred and assassinated on the streets of this country, you did a heck of a job. A heck of a job. So they got nothing to hang their hat on. Nothing at all. It's going to be interesting to see what next week's convention holds because Donald Trump said point blank, if you want lies and spin and deception, go to the Democrat convention next week. That's where you're going to get that. I'm about to throw some truth at you, some facts, some unembellished facts. And he did. And he's right. I don't see how. And it doesn't matter what they say, whether it's accurate or not. I don't see how Hillary Clinton ever regains the lead. I know it's tight right now, but I don't see how she ever regains the lead because she is not a good campaigner. She is not a good speech giver, and there is no way she can come close to matching what Donald Trump did. Now, coming up next, I want to talk a little bit about an undercard speaker last night that I'm not real happy with, and then the fact that there was little to no violence at this convention. We've got to touch on that. These heroes cannot be overlooked for what they did.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills. And you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialists in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you are looking for the show throughout the week, you can find us each and every weekday, 5 p.m. Central on ConservativeRadioNetwork.com. And it is that very same Conservative Radio Network that powers Red Nation Rising Radio now. So 5 p.m., Red Nation Rising 5 p.m. conservativeradionetwork.com. Both of those times are central. We are also on K98 Talk, the 405 Media, High Plains Radio, Sackheads Radio, Streaming Talk Radio, and IPBN-FM.com. Special thanks to each and every one of those guys for carrying the show. It means more than you know. We are in this together for sure. If you are looking for the show on demand, you can find it iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play. And then each and every Saturday night, this happens tomorrow night as well, 8 p.m. Central, we are on News and Information 570 KLIF. It is our one live offering per week where you get the opportunity to pick up the phone, call in, be a part of the program. I encourage you to do so. But if you were outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area where KLIF airs, fear not, there are some options. You can find us on KLIF.com. You can find us on the 405 Media and conservativeradionetwork.com. Each of those carry the live stream of the show, so you don't miss a thing. It happens live, and it gives you an opportunity to be a part of the show, no matter where you're at in the country. So special thanks to all those guys for carrying it. This thing's out of control. I mean, it continues to grow and grow and grow. The numbers continue to rise, and I'm just some construction worker behind a microphone. It is awesome to be a part of this. So, with that said, I told you, as great as the convention was, there were some hiccups. There's one thing that I walk away shaking my head at, and it's not necessarily the Ted Cruz thing. I've voiced my opinion at that. But it appears, and if you pay attention very closely to the words Donald Trump used last night, to the words Donald Trump has used, and he even said, I'm glad that y'all are applauding that. He seems to be a little soft on the LGBT stance for the Republican Party, which, okay, that's fine. I've said it before. You could be a rip-rock conservative. I could be a rip-rock conservative, and we're not going to agree on everything. I have some places where I might be a little softer than the hardline conservative. It's okay. I'm just pointing out a fact here, that he seems to be soft on the LGBT community. And maybe some of that has to do with his relationship, his dedication, his whatever you want to call it, to the Christian church. Whether it's new, whether it's non-existent, it doesn't matter. But maybe that's where it comes from. All that doesn't matter. Here's what upset me. He brought on Peter Thiel last night. And if you don't know who Peter Thiel is, one of his accomplishments is that he founded PayPal. We've all seen PayPal. We probably all use PayPal. He's also a gay man, which is fine. I don't hate him for being gay. I just don't promote it. If you ask me, Gavin, being gay okay? It's not, but I'm going to love you anyway. Just like a lot of the things I do aren't okay, but I hope you would love me anyway. Being gay means that he has a place in his heart for this LGBT movement, which makes sense. If that's who you are and that's what you're about, of course you're going to be empathetic to causes like that. That makes perfect sense. Not mad at him for that. Where Mr. Thiel and I jump off the rails is where the company he founded, PayPal, decided that they were going to pull out. They had plans to build a facility, a very large facility in North Carolina. It was going to bring hundreds of jobs to North Carolina. And when North Carolina passed the bathroom law that said, hey, the safety of our kids and our wives are more important than the feelings of somebody who has this mental disorder. Now you say, Gavin, how can you call transgender a mental disorder? Well, I'll tell you how, because the former head of psychology at Johns Hopkins University, one of the pinnacle health institutions in the country, and that department is right up there with them, said, I've studied this for a long time. It's a mental disorder. We need to quit throwing hormones and acceptance at these kids who, for whatever reason, think they're transgendered and start treating it as a mental disorder. The longer we coddle this, the bigger problem it becomes. And giving hormones to kids and young people is tantamount to child abuse. That's why I call it a mental disorder. Those aren't my words. That's not my conclusion of some study. That's a fact. But because the North Carolina wouldn't coddle to this group because they wouldn't back down from the Obama administration as they tried to strong-arm them. They wouldn't back down from the hypocrites in corporate America who tried to strong-arm them and said, we're pulling out, even though we do business in countries like Saudi Arabia. PayPal was serious. They pulled their facility. They did not follow through. They pulled out because North Carolina didn't back down. Now, to me, this is bigger than the social issue. This is the fact that they don't respect states' rights to be sovereign. They're behind this whole movement that has all these tentacles. And for whatever reason, we're going to run this guy out at the Republican National Convention. I understand a shift in the platform with the candidate. Don't get me wrong. If he doesn't want to be a hardline opponent against gays, okay. But you don't run somebody out there to wave the daggum flag. Not this guy should have spoke at the Democrat Party. Now, he did say, hey, I'm gay and I'm a Republican and I'm proud of all that. But most of all, I'm proud to be an American. Fine. I'm not mad at you. I don't dislike you. Not a fan of what you did, though. The problem is a lot of people missed what he said. He said, when I was a kid, the great debate was about how to defeat the Soviet Union, and we won. Now we're told the great debate is about who gets to use which bathroom. This is a distraction from our real problems. Who cares? A lot of people said, hey, he's saying we're arguing over the wrong things. There's bigger fish to fry. That's not what he said. He said point blank, oh, don't worry about this. This isn't important. In my opinion, there are other things we should worry about making America great again. Don't worry. So what? That grown man gets to go in the bathroom with your daughter. Who cares? I do. Because it's a slippery slope. It's the continuation of breaking down the moral fabric of this country. I care. Don't try to sweep it under the rug, and that's what he was trying to do. And he wasn't saying, hey, the left is distracting us. He's saying, we got bigger problems. Don't worry. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. And you say, well, Gavin, how can you come to that conclusion? His words can mean a lot of things there because I know his history. I did a little research on the guy. And the accumulation of little things is not little. That's why I'm not happy with that choice. But it is what it is, right? Maybe Donald Trump's trying to appeal to those that are further left than what we call moderate. Fine, but don't expect me to support it. And we need to tip our hats to the police officers in Cleveland and from the dozens of other states who sent officers to Cleveland to make sure this thing was peaceful. 2,500 officers worked around the clock on bike, on foot patrol, on horse, in cars, making sure that law and order were kept during this. You were allowed to protest, just like any American is. But they did such a phenomenal job. Seriously, I saw one, maybe two situations where one idiot got out of control. One idiot tried to burn a flag. Other than that, it was flawless. And these guys did not know going into this what was going to happen. They didn't know if there was going to be another Dallas, but they came running anyway. And just hats off to them. Such a tremendous job. Such a tremendous job to pull this off. Now, there was a report of one guy running around putting stickers on people that was laced with something. Still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. Still don't know what's going on. But I'm telling you, the problems compared to what they could have been in this climate, zero. I mean, they were blips on the radar. It just such a fantastic job of policing by Cleveland. Hats off to them. And one final piece, Jon Stewart comes on TV and tries to save the Late Show with his buddy Colbert. Because it's tanking. No one wants to hear this liberal crap, and that's what he does. He spins every political issue into liberal crap, and nobody wants to hear it. But Jon Stewart comes out and says, you don't own American patriotism, you don't own Christianity, and you sure as hell don't own respect for the bravery and sacrifice of military, police, and firefighters. Saw a lot of people on the convention floor in Cleveland with their Blue Lives Matter rhetoric who either remained silent or actively fought against the 9/11 First Responders Bill reauthorization. I see you and I see your BS. I see it. Here's what I got to say to Jon Stewart. First off, if you want the left to be able to step up and claim some patriotism, quit running candidates out there who ask what difference does it make when Americans die. You want to talk about owning Christianity? Step up and restore God into your platform. Acknowledge he is real and that he is the foundation of what makes this country great. And as far as bravery and sacrifice for military, police, and firefighters, how about you bring a widow of a fallen police officer instead of Black Lives Matter hooligans to speak at your convention? Don't lecture me, Jon Stewart. And here's the problem. Jon Stewart's kind of a smart guy. He's not brilliant. But anytime he is brought face to face with someone who knows what the heck they're talking about, oh, I'm just a comedian. I'm just a comedian. I'm not here to debate. I don't know. I'm just a comedian. But when he gets people that are inferior to his intellect, oh, he'll beat them to death with his political stances. But again, once he's matched equally or somebody superior, I'm just a comedian, he cowers down. He's weak, he's disgusting, and he's an idiot. I hope somebody sends that segment to Jon Stewart because he is a clown. Point blank, end of discussion.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Find new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough.
I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So Hillary Clinton's expected to announce her vice presidential running mate at some point today being Friday. And there is a lot of media saying it is going to be Senator Tim Kaine from Virginia. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's not a good pick for Hillary Clinton. There's not a Mike Pence out there that can give her a shot in the arm and verify and validate she is who she says she is. There's not somebody out there that's going to grab a voter block that she can't otherwise win, much like Mike Pence did with the extreme conservatives, at least hypothetically. There is not a good choice for her out there. The only hope she had was getting some extreme socialist nut job like Warren and bring her into the fold. But at that point, you alienate everybody from the middle to the right. There's not a good pick for Hillary Clinton. But she went with Tim Kaine. Why did she go with Tim Kaine? Tim Kaine's from the Midwest. That helps. Tim Kaine is from Virginia. That helps in the swing state. He is a liberal. The problem is he's against some things that this administration is for. He's against NAFTA. He wants to declare war on ISIS. And so that's why a lot of people that are rip-rock liberals and progressives, or whatever they call themselves these days, their name changed quicker than climate change, global warming, global cooling. I mean, they're constantly changing their names and rebranding. But there's not a good pick. Now, a lot of people out of Virginia who know this guy says he's a good guy. He's just a liberal. He's not a good enough guy to help Hillary Clinton. So stay tuned. All of that's going to unwind as today moves on. But that's out there. I want to turn my attention to the National Basketball Association. And I will give them credit. There are many corporations and entities that make threats when certain people move certain ways politically. We talked about the North Carolina transgender bathroom issue. We've talked about it exhaustively here on the program. And there were a lot of companies threatened to pull out. PayPal was one that had the cojones to do it. Well, the NBA was shouting their rhetoric. Well, if they don't do it, we're going to pull out. We're going to give them some time, back and forth. Well, they did. They pulled the All-Star game from Charlotte in 2017. They did it based on the bathroom law. And here's what I have to say to the NBA. It's not political. It's just fact. You are the third ranking, maybe the fourth ranking in popularity sport in this country now. I don't know if you're more popular than hockey or not. Your stadiums hold less than all the others do. Except for hockey, that's because you share a stadium, an arena, whatever. You have a problem with your athletes constantly getting into trouble, just like the NFL does. The problem is the NFL's brand is strong enough to overcome it. You are dangerously close to being obsolete in this country. Maybe not the world, but in this country, at least on the major league level of sports. Yes, there will always be people that love basketball, but what you are doing is risking a great deal of equity with the American people. You think labor stoppages hurt sports? This is going to hurt worse, I promise you. It is a horrible move and a horrible decision by y'all, and I'm disgusted by it. There is it's just a great thing that I don't like basketball. Never much enjoyed it.
Not saying it's a bad sport. It was a lot of fun to play as a kid, but I just don't enjoy watching it anymore. I'm glad for that because I will not watch it anymore. Target and the NBA can do something together as far as I'm concerned. That does it for this week. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. Join us tomorrow, 8 p.m., News and Information 570 KLIF in Dallas-Fort Worth. For the great Ron Phillips, I am Gavin Mitchell. This has been a Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production. We'll see you tomorrow night.